Hey everyone, what's up? This is Blaze. Welcome to the level 100 life gear setup. So mostly this is going to be aimed at PvP because that's what I'm making this for, really. And I'll be talking about what I'm using in my PvP videos from now on, and you will see that in the next video that I post, which will be in on Saturday. So plan on that. But for now, we are just going to be talking about my current gear setup. So let's go ahead and start with the two stat pages. I currently have 5,187 health, which I think is pretty good. I like being over 5,000 health. And 493 mana, doesn't really matter too much, but there it is. So damage, I'm pretty happy with damage. I think before my damage was like 88%, and now we're up to 94%, so that's a pretty good buff of the damage, so I like that. Resistance, I have 30 across the board, but then for the spirit schools, I have 52% resist, so that's this is from the new hat that I crafted. That's why this one's higher. But overall, 30% resist for the other schools, which is decent. 96% on the accuracy for life, so that's pretty good. Even though, you know, 4% chance to fizzle. We'll see if I do fizzle or not. I don't know. It would be kind of sad if I fizzled on any of my life spells ever in PvP, especially when I know it's only a 4% chance to fizzle. Critical. My critical I'm really happy with because 400 critical is what I think is pretty good. And thing is though, I'm not just going for crit. I have pretty balanced stats because that's kind of what the amulet is able to provide, is a balanced array of stats. So we have over 400 critical and 324 block, which is decent. So should most likely be blocking incoming attacks if they crit on those. So I don't remember what my other crit was, but I don't think it was over 300, to be honest. I think it was less than 300, or maybe right around 300, so a little bit of a increase on that. Power pip chance is 80%. Could be a problem. I mean, that's 20% chance to get a regular pip. So I don't know. We'll have to see if that plays a factor in PvP matches, but I don't know. I think the general rule is like over 75%, so that does meet that requirement, but might be a little low. I don't know. Healing in and out, I'm not too concerned with, but it's at 24% and 17%. And then 5% armor piercing, which isn't that much, but that's how that goes. So let's go ahead and move on to the individual pieces of gear. Starting with the hat that I just crafted. So during my live stream on Saturday, I needed like one more cycle of life, so I asked people in the Twitch chat to help me get it. And they were kind enough to do that, so thank you to those people that helped. And I crafted this. It's the Nadeza's Cowl of Recovery. And basically, compared to my other helmet that I was using, it gives a lot more crit. Well, 30 more crit. It's not a lot more, but that's a good amount. 5% more damage, which is useful. And then it gives those resist to the spirit schools. That's why it's so much higher than the other ones. So there's that. I think it's pretty good for PvP. And especially for, you know, the current strategy I'm going for. So that is the helmet. It's just the 96 crafted gear that you can get from Chrysalis in the Sardonyx. I'm going to continue using the armor of a Sorrowful Life from Hades. I think it gives decent overall stats. And the 12% resist, universal resist, is useful. So I'll be using that, which I've shown before. The Merchant's Chill Boots I've had for a while. I crafted these like in the beginning when I started PvPing because I knew that they were going to be better than whatever I was using before. I think these are more for healing. So been using these for a while. 22% damage and some block on there and a little bit of resist, so pretty good. Let's move on to the Lunar Scepter of Anubis, which I specifically went for when I started PvPing because it's really good with the block and it gives some crit there, so that's useful. I will continue to use the Blade of the Felled Titan and the Alpha and Omega Ring because I think they're just decent overall, especially for hitting. You know, 15% on the Blade of the Felled Titan, and then this one gives 10% damage. So these are seemingly the best for what I'm going for. So we'll just continue to use those, which I'm sure everyone's familiar with because these have been out since, you know, Aquila. So I think these are pretty important. And now on to what everyone's most likely been waiting for, is the Jewel of the Shadow Web. I'm sure a lot of you saw the video of me actually getting this drop from Morganth. It was during a live stream. And here it is. much better than what I was previously using, which was the Armiger's Amulet of Aiming. So basically all this did was give a rebirth, or not a rebirth, reshuffle card that I never use, and some health. So as you can see, the Jewel of the Shadow Web gives a lot more stats than the other amulet I was using. But it's pretty difficult to get, even though, I don't know, I've heard from people that the life one is one of the easier ones to get, so maybe that was why. But I don't know. Amulets, I've never gotten an amulet drop before, and it just happened to be the life one, so pretty lucky on that. But it's going to be useful in my PvPing in the future, so I think it's going to be pretty helpful. So excited for that. Excited to test this out and use it in the PvP videos in the future. So there is the Jewel of the Shadow Web. My pet I've shown before. Lewis helped me get it when he was PvPing on his life, and it gives some damage, the universal resist, and some crit there. So that's useful. Mount Night Runner because I feel like it. Plus it's getting close to the Nightmare Pack, so that's why I'm using it. And the deck is going to be the Deck of the Shadow Heart, which gives that extra pip in the beginning, a little bit of crit that, I don't know, plus 4 crit, is that even, it's like probably not even 1%, and some health. So there's that. That is my current setup on the PvP gear. Pretty happy with, I was really concerned with the crit and the block, so I think it's good mid-ranged on those stats. So that is what I'll be using, and 94 damage is, you know, good. I could have a little more. I was looking at the crafted robes, but I feel like the Armor of a Sorrowful Life is the best for that. So we're just going to continue using that robe. Okay, let's move on to the deck setup. I don't know. I was kind of changing it a little bit, but I've been facing mostly storms. So I threw in like one more of these. Volcanic shields. Obviously tower shields. All of my buffs that I need to draw, you know, in order to use. Mostly Spiny. The main strategy is to go for Spiny and try to get a crit on that. So that's my main strategy. Sharpens in case I draw it with the Life Blade to get plus 50%. A couple gnomes. I think I've used a gnome in one of my PvP videos, so not that, I use them occasionally, especially since they give that Dispel. Goat Monk just in case, 1 King Artorias, 1 Leprechaun. I could add another Leprechaun, but I don't know, I have some in my treasure card deck, or at least I should have some. All of these Life Blades that I need, well, I don't really need, but they're useful. Plus I also have these 2 Life Blades that I can now get because the Jewel of the Shadow Web gives 2 plus 45% to next life spells. So that's good. Luminous Weavers, which are a good overall spell. Namaste, I don't think I've ever casted this, but, you know, maybe I'll cast it someday in the future. I don't know. A couple Pixies, some heals. We got Regenerate, 3 Satyrs, Seraph, just in case. And then Spiny. The reason I don't have more Spinies is because I have some in my treasure card deck. Actually, I think I should add more. I think I usually have about 5. So, there's those. And we'll look at that after we get through all these. But Spiny is the main thing I'm going for. Triage, I don't know if I'll ever use that, but just in case. A couple Infals. And then Feint, in case I ever need to put a Feint on the Spinosaur with the overtime. Some Spirit Blades just in case I need an extra blade. Or if I don't have any, I didn't draw these other blades. And Strike, in case I need to get through a bunch of resist. So, my sideboard is the wands and the blades that I get from, I never use this Luminous Weaver, but it just comes with the pet, Lewis's pet that he helped me get. So there's that. Let's move on to the not sideboard, the treasure cards. 1 gnomes, a couple goat monks. I should have 2 leprechauns in here, but I don't think I have any at the moment, so probably should get another one of those. Luminous Weaver, and I have a bunch of Spinosaurs in here, and then the black mantles, and the reshuffle just in case. So that is basically going to be the deck that I'm currently using. It mostly just goes for Spinosaur, attempting to get a nice crit on the Spinosaur spell, and which since I've gone up against a bunch of storms, usually they don't block that. So after 1 Spinosaur, it's GG. So I guess I don't know. That's why I have some extra storm volcanic shields. I don't have the actual storm, the storm shield. Do I have any training points? No, I have no training points. So actually, is it free? I can't remember. Is he storm? Let's just go look at it quick. I'm pretty sure it's not free. No, there's no way it's free. But If there was one shield, negative 80% shield that I would go for, it would be the Storm one. Even though, I don't know, negative 80 is still pretty good. Yeah, it's a training point. I would go for that if I had an extra training point, but I don't. So, that is going to wrap it up for this gear setup video. So thank you to people that suggested it on Twitter and, you know, in comments and stuff like that. And I think it was a good idea because I did get 2 pieces of new gear for my character, and I don't usually show my setup and my stats in my PvP matches, so, or before my PvP matches, so this is a good time to show off these. So this is what I'll be going forward with on the PvP matches. I plan on doing them, you know, at least more often than I have been. So there'll be one up this week, but we'll just have to see, you know, when I feel like recording those for future PvP matches. So stay tuned for that. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. It's been a kind of longer video, but once I get talking about my gear, I tend to ramble on about it. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for the PvP episode this week, and also subscribe so you know when those videos go out later on. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.